I know we did the same joke last week.
It counts down. It counts down.
I don't. You know that I can't read. I mean,
we can't call these fucking J-Brones fucking marks on the air. Like it's just it's not a good look, you know.
I mean, plenty of wrestling companies do it. Come on.
Yeah, no, it's totally. They call them that to their fucking face.
Pretty much.
Like, you fucking marks. What's up, you fucking marks?
There's a few.
What's up, buddy boy marks? Fucking marks.
Let me open up the chat while we're here and see if
I am opening the chat
before we officially go live.
Yes.
Public chat.
This is called bullshitting your way through the first 5 minutes to see if people join the show. How are we doing chat? Please let us know in the chat. I will put your chat publicly on the screen. That's right. Mm-hmm. My service to you, me to you. That's what I do for the people each and every day of my life.
This is the pre-show that you get if you show up before the show. Hey, that was me that said hello. I was like, oh shit, somebody already said something.
God damn it.
So if you did show up on time, not only do you get to hear us insulting everyone, but the show doesn't actually start for 4 more minutes now. And then you'll get the full show.
That's right. We are counting down.
Yeah, you
to
get
the
4
fucking
whole minutes of just
goddamn explosion.
Pillows in my house, turning lights on and off.
That's the VIP look into your life,
into
the sad world of Professor Degree.
Here, how about this one?
Oh, hey, there we go. Hey, there we go.
Sometime I'll get a championship. I have a couple belts. I'll put a belt up here sometime.
Why don't you go get one? Go get a belt. We got time. I'll talk to them.
I'll be right back.
Don't worry about it. You go get some belts. All right, so got rid of him. Hey, Justin's in the chat. I noticed Justin shows up right after Degree leaves. So you're thinking the right way on this one, Justin. You are thinking the right way. That's right. The best bros are here. Best bros. And we are going to be talking all about WCW 1990, which you do. Fuck. Okay. So he can hear me. So that was unfortunate. But
how about this? Oh, hey, what's up, man?
How about what? Man, you need to.
How's that?
You need to. We're going to do some
camera training
for you. Yeah, that looks good. Sliding.
Shut the fuck up. It looks awesome. I'm building the set as we speak. Oh,
your universe showed up in the chat. Hey, it's the live way hard. That is correct. Rock hard.
Pippin showed up.
Pippin in the chat. I'm
Pippin's
sorry.
That's going to start a podcast. I heard. That's a rumor.
Gnosis 00. Okay.
There. How about that?
Let's be respectful. That is better. We need to get you some lighting and a nicer camera.
Yeah. Well, I was going to sit the other way, but I had to turn it because it sounds better this way. I need to get a proper setup. I'm sitting on the floor in this, I like to call it the den. My wife calls it the reading room because it's full of books, or the I don't know what else you call it.
I've always thought for an illiterate guy that you have quite a few books, and that has what?
That's exactly it.
That's makes right.
Me look like I know how to read.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm impressed by. Like, you wrote a book and sent it to me.
I wrote it.
And I'm like, you got somebody to write a book for you just to try and facilitate the facade that you know how to read.
I wrote a Choose Your Own Adventure book, Blade.
You did? Really?
I did. I've written 3 Choose Your Own Adventure books, but I've only published 2 of them, and the second one I pulled because I didn't really like it that much, and then the third one I never drew the pictures for, so I never published it. But maybe down the road,
Let's be clear. They were picture-based books.
Choose Your Own Adventure. And
can we? So I have a Choose Your Own Adventure. So do you want to pick door number 1 or door number 2?
2.
What's behind door number 2? Oh, it's right there.
Oh,
pal.
Shit.
Oh, do you want to see what you would have won if you had picked door number 1?
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
You would have got doubles. But that was good. That was good.
I work with fucking children.
That's the kind of fucking quality entertainment these good folks from the Sickos Club tune in to see each and every goddamn day. Now, if you are watching this this is not the actual edited show. This is a live thing. Okay.
Oh, it will be better when we actually start the show.
When I can get Degree condensed, and really, I try to have as little of him on the show as I possibly can. But when I can get him condensed, the show will be a lot better. But so I'm sorry that you're here for this today, but you do get your name on the screen. But if you're watching on the Hard Way YouTube channel, please make sure you subscribe. If you're watching on the Sickos Club YouTube channel, please make sure you're subscribed. And then I have a crazy recommendation. Go to the other channel that you're not on and subscribe there too. And make sure you thumbs up the video. It really does help us out. Get, a little exposure in the algorithm. We're a very small channel. We're two very small channels just looking for a break buster. So with that said, I think we are ready.
Ready?
I think we're ready to talk about Wrestle War 1990.
Welcome back, wrestling fans. We are live from the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's February 25th, 1990. I'm your host, the toast of the Third Coast, Professor Degree. With me, as always, I Blade Daily, the host of the Sit Down, Shut Up, and Mark Out podcast. This is Wrestle War 90, Wild Thing. This is Sickos Club. Ladies and gentlemen, this is professional wrestling the hard way.
That was really good.
Thanks.
Degree. Cadillac Margarita. That was a hell of an intro. Thank you.
Thank
you. No. Hey, thank you.
That's what I'm here for. So
from the heart, from the heart, bro.
Wrestle War 1990.
Yeah.
The fucking rap song at the beginning of this was like if your mom wrote a song, like with the Steiner brothers, and we're here to say that we like to wrestle in a crazy way. Like the absolute most you gotta watch it just for the song at the beginning.
So if you go on YouTube, I believe if you type in Wrestle War 1990 rap, you can just watch that.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it is the first thing on the show as well. So if you watch the event on the actual feed, you will on the WCW channel that WWE has, I will give them credit. It's a great channel. If you go watch Wrestle War 1990, all you got to do is just hit play, and this is the first thing that comes on. It's WCW's at a crossroads at this moment, right? Where Jim Herd clearly feels the clarion call to modernize this wrestling product, but not completely abandon the audience that they already have, right? So what do? You bring in what the kids are talking about, which is the
raps.
The raps. Right. But then you find the whitest person you can to do the rap.
This is just like 2 years before PN News makes his debut, right? I mean,
yo, baby, yo.
Like the absolute worst. Oh, God, a guy. And Van Hammer. Ric Flair. This is like before, because Jim Herd's the guy that made Ric Flair cut his hair, right?
He wanted him to cut his hair. He didn't cut his hair because of Jim
When
Herd.
does he cut his hair for the Black Scorpion thing? Is that before this?
I guess it is for the Black Scorpion thing. So it is technically while Herd's there. You're right.
Okay.
But he wanted him to cut his hair and get an earring and call himself
and be
Spartacus.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like WCW. The logo's WCW, but Terry Funk does call it the NWA. Terry Funk seems weird in this. Did you think? Like,
yeah.
I don't know if he was drunk or like I don't know what his deal was. Oh shit, there's Billy. What's up,
Billy? What?
No, it's my friend Bill.
Your friend Bill.
You know, every time when I say, "Hey, my buddy," whenever I'm like, "Oh, me and my buddy," and we watch wrestling, that's the guy I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, hi,
He's
Billy.
a band. They're
nice
called Fangs and Twang. You should check them out.
That's the guy you're talking shit about all the time. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to meet you, Billy. Let me say thank you for letting me borrow Professor Degree, because otherwise these people would be stuck with me, and that they already are on another show.
He's like, Professor Degree? Who the fuck is that?
I know. Well, that's
he knows the Polish Prince, baby.
The Polish Prince, Cadillac Margarita. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Okay, so let's just say that Terry Funk he had just stepped back from wrestling. He had just wrapped up his program with Ric Flair. The I Quit match had happened about 3 months before this. And so Terry, I believe, has it in his mind that he's going to retire and become a backstage guy, commentator dude.
Mhm.
And
Very smiley. He's very like, hey, Jim, or, like really
he
over
doesn't
the top.
know how to not be the wrestler Terry Funk.
Yeah.
And so he's green as goose shit at commentary. And it really shows on this show. Him and Jim Ross, it's so uncomfortable, really, to listen to. There's like this weird tension. Jim Ross is trying to hold his hand, but Terry's like trying to be Jesse Ventura at times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
totally. He's even wearing like the big feather in his ear and all that shit.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And he's trying to be this kind of folksy Jesse Ventura, and it's weird.
No,
it's weird.
It's weird to say, oh, it doesn't. Terry Funk doesn't work for me, but it's weird. It doesn't work.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's definitely a weird dynamic to the show. So they start with, and the other thing that's great about this show is the name. It's called Wrestle War 90 Wild Thing. Right? And tell me they didn't watch Major League. Tell me they didn't watch Major League and go, Wild Thing is what the kids are going to be talking about, right?
Yeah. We're going to try to bring kids in with I guess everything did bring kids in with an R-rated movie, but it just, it didn't seem right. Do you want to get into the show, or do you want to talk shit about it a little bit more before we start?
I don't know. I mean, ultimately, we reviewed Capital Combat the last time we were on, and if I had known that we were going to review this show, which I also picked, so it's completely my fault. I can't even blame this on you.
Did you? No, I picked this. I picked this specifically for the rap song.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This is your fault. This is your fault.
Yeah,
so
it is
fuck
actually
you for this.
My fault.
We shouldn't have reviewed Capital Combat before we did this show, because that takes place after this show. Whatever.
This is February and Capital Combat is in May. Sting is injured here. He's on crutches. He's still injured in May when RoboCop shows up.
But he's not on crutches.
No, here he is though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this is really close to when he got hurt. He got hurt like a couple weeks before this. So he had just had the surgery on his patella tendon.
So, okay. The first match is Kevin Sullivan and Buzz Sawyer versus the Dynamic Dudes. Johnny Ace and Shane Douglas, who are like the Nelson twins, kind of. Like mullets and like long, silky blonde hair. Buzz Sawyer Buzz Sawyer looks fucked up here. And at one point, Jim Ross refers to him as like Peter Boyle. And he's all like knock-kneed, skinny ankle, and like his forehead is huge. He still has the energy of Buzz Sawyer, but like his body's not there anymore. And Kevin Sullivan has something in his hair, like it's braided and like goes down like halfway down his ass. It's like shoelaces tied in his hair. It's fucking weird.
Kevin Sullivan really reads to me as like early 90s self-styled libertarian weirdo with some kind of like weird like medieval beard, and like like my dad had a lot of friends like that, and it's weird because he's not that, but a lot of his
all you had to say was libertarian, and that's pretty much
And then there was Buzz Sawyer. So Buzz Sawyer was soon not long for this earth, it should be said. He was
okay, so that's probably why he looks very unhealthy.
Yeah, he's going to die of a cocaine overdose, I believe, like a couple years after this. Yeah, it's not long. Buzz Sawyer, I also didn't know that he was famous for opening up wrestling camps, taking people's money, and then just running out of town.
Not a huge shocker.
Yeah, he was known for being I've heard rumors that he was a drug runner as well, which also not surprising. I believe it.
I like younger Buzz Sawyer. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about him, but like he's cool. I don't know. I like the rough and tumble style. I don't really have I don't have a lot of notes for this match other than Buzz Sawyer is the kind of guy that hits you for real and pins you with his dick in your face, because that's pretty much what he did. That was like everything he brought to the table. I didn't think this match was really anything special.
if they were trying to open the show hot, they really failed.
No.
Also, this is in Greensboro. So Greensboro is an NWA town. Like, it is the NWA town. It is the Crockett town. So just for reference, okay, they had come off this red hot 1989 where they could do no wrong. And their total attendance for this is 7,894. That's not a great number,
right,
for that time. If they're in the Coliseum, which I'm sure they probably are, the Greensboro Coliseum, that's not a great number. That's where WCW ran Sting's retirement, or AEW ran Sting's retirement show. This crowd also
not until the main event.
Not until halfway through the main event. Like,
right.
This crowd is dead. This entire show.
I mean, there's nothing to give them. Like you said, if they're trying to start out hot, it's not good. The dynamic dudes are like woefully miscast, as I'm guessing they're supposed to be like the hot young guys.
They are.
They're not. There's no energy. There's no excitement. There's no soul. Like, they're just dull. Shane Douglas doesn't seem like he wants to be there, and Johnny Ace is Johnny Ace. So it's just
so Shane Douglas and Johnny Ace have the combined charisma of testicular cancer. And they at one point were coming out with skateboards.
Yeah.
To like Beach Boys kind of ish music.
It's like if your mom booked and just didn't like, oh, this is what the kids like. Well, you said Jim Herd. This is what the kids like these days. Here you go. It's just terrible. It's a 10-minute match that goes 15 minutes. And just that's all I really have to say.
It's a 10-minute match that feels like an entire pay-per-view. It's not,
which is what a couple of these pay-per-views or matches feel like.
Oh, okay. So Billy is contributing here. He scammed the Undertaker, Buzz Sawyer. So that might be where I heard that story. Skewered Universe, fair question. Do you think Johnny Ace was assaulting fans before or after the show? I can't say I know Johnny well enough to be sure. It could be during. Yeah, it could have been while they were wrestling. Who knows?
Go up a bit. Gnosis Pippin asked about Mox. Mox got Wild Thing from Onita, right?
I think what Mox got. Yes,
Mox
I believe
his whole kind of gimmick for a while from Onita, correct?
I think Tony Khan was trying to make that inference, was that because the first time he ever came out to Wild Thing, it was the original Wild Thing, and it felt a little anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Well, because that's what Atsushi Onita in FMW used to come out to. Yeah.
Right. And like he comes out, jeans, leather jacket, smoking a cigarette, sits the chair down. And Mox coming out with a flute solo didn't exactly set the fucking world on fire. Like, really? Yeah.
So true.
And it was him. It's him and Eddie at Daly's place, I think. When they
I think it is. I think you're right. I think,
and it's
like
the crowds are back for the first time. No, it doesn't fly.
They could have had Poochie. They could have.
They may as well. And so so the writing on the back of their tights looks like. Do you remember Rude Dog? It was like, I think it was a clothing line. Like
it was. Yeah, it was like a skater line, wasn't it?
That's what it looked. But it was like for kids. It was like,
okay.
Kids aren't wearing Santa Cruz, but you're wearing Rude Dog. That's what the font on their tights reminded me of. So yeah, they're totally Poochie. That's exactly what they are.
And then I gotta say, Buzz Sawyer just has wounded animal vibes to me.
Like he's got wounded animals in his basement. Yeah,
possibly. Or no, like he's a wounded animal.
Yeah,
like he's just like, somebody needs to put this guy down.
Yes,
like, and thankfully the job fell to cocaine.
Older Buzz Sawyer, like I said, like when he's like, he's like this badass little dude, but I mean, he's like Kevin Sullivan, kind of probably hanging out, stockpiling guns in their basement, canned foods, rations, bullets and whiskey. Anyway,
convincing his friends that their wives need to sleep with him.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Sawyer gets the pin on Johnny Ace
with a big
and
splash.
Then we go backstage.
With big splash off the top rope.
Big splash. Backstage, Missy Hyatt is with Norman the Lunatic, who reminds me a lot. He's got a lot of Golga from the Oddities vibes going on. He's creepy. He's trying to get a kiss and look down her shirt. And she's wearing a tuxedo, but he's trying to look down her shirt. And that's all I got. Who's Norman the Lunatic? Like, where does he come from?
Okay. Norman the Lunatic came from Stampede. He was their top heel. He was a guy named Makam Singh up there.
Okay.
Yes, he was Makam Singh. He's a Michigan guy.
Well, I should know that,
his that's his past. His future is Friar Ferguson before he becomes Bastion Booger.
So I was just gonna say, yeah, he becomes Bastion Booger was just fucking repugnant with
absolutely
the seatbelts, like
the most disgusting wrestler probably ever.
For real. Yeah. So yeah, he's like the precursor to Golga.
Yeah, but his character in WCW is that he's escaped from an asylum. He was managed, I think, at one time. Was it by Kevin Sullivan? Or was it by... He was basically like this big, huge guy that was being mismanaged and led astray by... it was either Kevin Sullivan or Teddy Long. I think it's Kevin Sullivan.
That makes sense.
And then he turned on them. The crowd convinced him to turn babyface. And as a kid, I remember thinking that Norman had some charisma. And watching this now, I'm like, he was creepy. And no, he has no charisma. Zero.
Not at all. And he's
negative charisma. Not,
yeah. And you'd think for a guy in that role, you would kind of have to have charisma, but no, there's nothing. He's got like a stuffed animal. I don't know. He's not horrible in the ring. It's just, meh.
He's got a stuffed animal. He's got a beanie with the propeller on it. Stupid. And he's looking down Missy Hyatt's shirt. And so what he says is, he's like, "Oh, Missy, I'm pretty nervous about the match, but maybe if you gave me a hug,
right,
that'd make me feel better." And then she's like, "Oh, okay." And she gives him a hug. And then he's like, "Maybe if you gave me a kiss, I'd feel a little better." And she's like, "Okay." She gives him a kiss. Then he's like, "Maybe if you gave me one more." And
because that's what a face does. That's what a good guy does.
That's the good guy in this next match, which is utter horseshit. They sent poor fucking Mick Foley, Cactus Jack Manson, as he's called at this time. This is this is the time I first saw Foley was I had just started watching wrestling. And I was thinking about it, Degree. This might be the first pay-per-view I ever saw. I didn't see it live.
Right.
My great uncle was a wrestling fan and he taped it and let me borrow the tape.
Nice.
So I think this might be the first pay-per-view I ever saw.
That's awesome.
And so I remembered this match. And do you remember we were talking, it might've been on the Capital Combat one, but I said Jim Ross makes a joke about Cactus Jack and his favorite color being light black.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He does it again.
No, he did it in this match. And I realized I remembered this from being 10 years old. Watching this shit. I remembered that terrible joke.
Yeah. Because it sounded familiar when I heard it. It's so, I mean, the thing is Norman is not really good, but he's not like, it's not the worst match I've ever seen in my life. Like,
no,
it's not as bad as the match before it, No.
Well, you've got a few people in the match that you have some feelings about, certainly in one way or the other.
Terry Funk says that Norman has the head of a buffalo and the body of Roseanne. That's wonderful. Classy, Terry.
Yeah. And again, Terry's like trying to figure out where the line is for him, where he's like, he needed somebody to really mentor him, and maybe he didn't have the ego strength to like allow himself to be mentored. Sure. I don't know. He did seem like he was going into business for himself a few times. And there was, but he's kind of like going straight forward. Oh, that's I've been hit like that, Ross, and that really hurts, and then going like, oh, he didn't do that right. I could have done that better than him, that kind of thing.
But he plays the whole thing like he's a weather forecaster. Like it's always with this like, hey, what's up? And like this twinkle in his eye, and none of it ever works. So this is your favorite era of Cactus Jack, right? That's what you're saying?
No. This is
I thought this was.
This is my introduction to Cactus Jack. My favorite era of Cactus Jack. And I just said, look. I said,
with the tassels when he cut the shirt and then put the tassels.
Okay,
in.
He didn't cut a shirt, you son of a bitch. All right, he wore a legit fucking poncho.
No,
All right.
he took the bottom of the shirt and the sleeves and cut it and then like braided it with beads. That's what he fucking did. And I've seen it before. The poncho
Listen,
is cool. Yeah.
the poncho's cool. All right. I'm pro poncho. All right. I am
I
a
like the
pink
poncho. Yeah.
The Sickos Club understands what I'm talking about. I am a
Oh, I
pink
know, yeah.
poncho boy. Okay. I'm a member of the fucking secret order of the pink poncho boys. All right.
Clearly.
We don't fuck around with our poncho talk. So don't you dare contradict me on this.
Hold up. I want you to put the bottom thing on there right now. The one underneath Skewered Universe. Billy says, "Hey, Norman's not that bad in the rain," and then corrects it to say "ring." Goddamn voice to text. This, if you text Billy, this is every text with Billy is goddamn voice to text. So it's like this is a weird meeting of my two worlds. Yeah. So Cactus Jack, my thoughts were, it's just interesting because here you get Cactus Jack Manson, and he's like this rough and tumble, not really, I don't know if he's a cowboy, outlaw, bad guy, badass. And you can, like, it's a generic version of a character. It's like he's kind of, just slotting himself into a role. He's not there yet. And it's interesting to me because if you look, take anybody, if it's Shane Douglas, if it's, you watch Stunning Steve Austin and you can see little bits of Stone Cold, but not a lot, but little bits. But with Cactus Jack or Mick Foley, it's like if you think of where he is here and then the layers and the depth of what Mankind, Cactus Jack, the three faces of Foley, all that stuff, it's like you would never think he'd end up. It's like he's on this logical path, but then he just veers off into, because of timing, because of the Attitude Era, because of losing to WCW, maybe they let him go wild with it. It's just interesting to me because it's like if you look at this, I would never in a million years think he'd end up where he was doing SpaghettiOs commercials, doing Santa Claus, just any of it. It's like other than the hardcore aspect,
Well, you would never know what his genuine personality is. That's for sure. Yeah. I don't even know. Did he have Bang Bang yet?
I don't think he did. Do that?
No. Okay. No. So he doesn't even have that yet. So I think what people don't understand,
handsome here, like he's young.
He's just much thinner. Certainly.
Much. Yeah.
Well,
being thin doesn't make him handsome. I'm just saying
it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
But he's got teeth. His hair's not.
But he's got teeth. Yeah, he hasn't mangled his body. He can walk straight. Stuff like that. Yeah. Just stuff like that. But I would say people don't. I think a lot of people don't understand. Cactus actually had 2 runs in WCW. So he was there in 89 and 90. Okay, and he came in. He was introduced like a jobber, like he was part of a jobber tag team. They lost, and then his gimmick was he would beat the shit out of the guy who lost. So he would always like do that running elbow off he would throw the guy to the outside, pull up the mat, and then he'd drop an elbow on his tag team partner after his tag team partner lost the match. And so he was kind of being built in this very interesting way, but then he leaves, and he's in Global for a little while. He's doing some other stuff. Then he comes back to WCW as that angle where they're doing the presents for Sting. And that's where he comes back with Abdullah the Butcher, and they start this bigger, he comes back much more significant, a bit heavier, really some more padding in the thighs and ass so he can take those bumps without killing himself.
And nothing gets a guy over like bringing him in a box, as we all know.
Yes, as Jim Cornette famously said. So Cactus Jack tries to do, I believe, a sunset flip. Norman just sits on him and pins him.
Yeah. So it was short enough that I didn't care. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. It was just there. But it was only like 5 minutes long. So whatever.
Notice this with a great point. Brian Keith makes ponchos look amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, Brian Keith his poncho game is on.
I'm liking Billy. He's quoting Zappa in the chat over
That's why I'm telling you guys, someday you'll meet each other and you'll either love each other or hate each other. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's always how those kinds of things go. It's
no, I'm kidding.
Is that a real poncho? Is that a Sears poncho?
So Gordon Soley is backstage with Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express. No, you guys actually will love each other. What does he say? The Midnights have had more matches with the Rock and Roll Express than they've done Hello Dolly on Broadway. And that's how I felt watching it too.
Yep.
For the most heated rivalry of the two legendary tag teams. It's just like, fuck, dude, I do not need to see this again, ever again. That's it.
An angle that had been running since like 1984. This is 1990.
Yeah.
Like they literally started as rivals when Dennis Condrey was still in the Midnight Express, and they were all in Mid-South. That's where it started, you know. Then at some point it gets brought over to Crockett, like 85, 86, somewhere around there. And they had made so much money across the South running this program. They had worked so many house shows. They had worked, Clash of Champions. They had worked all this stuff. It is not a matter of having a good match because these guys are going to have a good match. If they had a bad match, that would be more notable because they have no excuse to have a bad match. They know each other. They're practically married. Yeah. And so I could care less about seeing another one of these matches.
And I mean, I've only been on this show for like 6 months, and I think I've seen like 6 matches between those guys, it's like I'm done. And I get the impression that Jim Herd is the new guy, and he says, well, what works? Well, we know this works. You know what I mean? We know this is a classic. Throw it out, do it again. Man, I don't know. One thing of note, Stan Lane says that Jim Cornette stole Ivana from Trump, which I guess, I don't know.
Which is hilarious because it was all over the National Enquirer that Trump had been cheating on Ivana with Marla Maples. I know this because my grandmother, who I spent every Saturday with, bought the National Enquirer like it was fucking the
when
Bible.
My grandma died, there were like, she might have been a little bit of a hoarder, like not a full-on hoarder, and there's just like stacks and stacks of National Enquirers. And like every time we go over for Christmas, and we would just sit there and like drink punch and eat or read National Enquirers.
I would sit at my grandma's house and read the Enquirer, read People magazine, and do scratch tickets with her. And then watch WCW and WWF Superstars. So that's awesome. That was what I did.
And they would have just like, we dug through the celebrities' trash, and this is what we found. It's like, I don't know. I mean, that's everything now. That's all the news.
When we all found out in America years later that Trump had been the guy from the National Enquirer had actually been trying to help him get elected. That was like no surprise because it's like if you read that shit in the 90s, Donald Trump was like front page on the Enquirer
every time,
every week at least. Well, you couldn't get more than every week. Never mind.
So at one point, referee Nick Patrick gets into it with Stan Lane. He gets into it with Corny. Corny's doing the fisticuffs thing. The match, my notes just say this match goes on for fucking ever.
It's 20 minutes long.
Yeah. There's somebody with a sign that says we've heard enough, spelled H-E-R-D.
Yes. So, okay. I felt so proud of myself because I never noticed any of this shit. Okay. But there is somebody that says that has a sign that says we've heard enough, but it's spelled H-E-R-D like Jim Herd. So like the Observer crowd is in the audience, okay, in North Carolina, and they already do not like Jim Herd. Right. That's already circulating.
But was he like an on-air presence at all, or no?
He came out like at a Clash of Champions to make an announcement or something, but no, not in any significant way.
I remember K. Allen Fry, and I remember who else was there? There was somebody else that was like, they ran through a few guys. Maybe it was Herd. Like I vaguely remember those guys on TV, but
it went from Herd to Kip Allen Fry to Watts to Ole Anderson for like a second.
When Watts takes over and he says, we're not going to do any of that macabre shit because he doesn't know how to say macabre. Nope. That's like one of my all-time classic wrestling moments.
Also, very funny to hear Bill Watts do commentary when he's in Mid-South because, he owns the fucking territory, right? And he cannot pronounce anybody's name. So he calls Jim Duggan, Jim Dugan constantly. Right. He calls Ted DiBiase, Ted DiBiase. Like it's like
he's just reading it. Yeah.
Yeah. He just gets everybody's name wrong. And Billy, you're right. Billy says, with Midnights and they started feuding in Mid-South, and then the Midnight Express went to Texas. Yes, they went to the Von Erichs territory for a little bit, and then they ended up in JCP. That is correct. And I think that's how the kind of the Freebirds also made that move, is like.
So next week, Bill's just going to host the show with you, and I'm going to take the week off. So,
oh boy.
Okay, so then it goes backstage with Gordon Soley to the weirdest fucking Road Warriors interview. Animal's got this bright blue frosting makeup on and no facial hair. And
what the fuck?
It's so weird, dude. That's all I can say. I mean, it's like when I just shaved a couple weeks ago, and it's like, what happened? You're a big baby. Like, it's just odd.
They had done this badass angle. I don't know if it was at a Clash of Champions or something, where the Skyscrapers, but the Skyscrapers were a totally different team at the time. It was Sid and Dan Spivey.
Okay.
Showed up and just beat the fucking shit out of the Road Warriors with chairs. Like, fucking annihilated them. That's how I saw it as a kid. If I saw it now, I'd be like, oh, those are whatever.
Right.
You know, like, but they
Hawk
had
gets up after one hit or whatever, 2 hits.
They had bent chairs over their heads and shit. I mean, it looked great. And this was supposed to be the blow off to their feud.
Right.
Except right before the match, it's right at the beginning of the show, Jim Ross had said that Dan Spivey is injured.
Mm-hmm.
So Dan Spivey's not there, except the other problem is that Sid Udi had a punctured lung and had been out since right after that angle was filmed.
Right.
And he had been replaced by Mean Mark Callis, who would go on to be known as The Undertaker. However,
and
they also
screwed over by Buzz Sawyer.
right. Who they now needed to replace Dan Spivey, who was the only original member of this fucking thing to begin with some masked dude who they never name. And I believe
they don't even try to give him a name. Do you know who it is?
I think it might be Mike Enos from the Destruction Crew. Beverly, Bo Beverly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That was the one thing that threw me. He was kind of tall. So I was like, was Mike Enos that tall?
And Animal refers to Sting as his brother in paint, which I think Sting calls Vampiro his brother in paint, right? Years later in WCW.
Yeah.
Sure, it's just a coincidence, but and the only other thing I have in my notes basically is that Hawk pretty much cuts a promo. He is like the early Scott Steiner. Like, just Hawk's fucking insane. Those guys are like a couple of shock absorbers, but we're like super shock absorbers. Just like
Hawk,
all of his promos.
But he's a great talker though. Like, I think Hawk is a fantastic interview. He's hilarious. Animal can't say shit. Like, Animal is just always trying to like say one quick thing and give it to Hawk. Tell him, Hawk.
Generic tough guy. And Hawk's funny. It's funny because he is such a tough guy, but he's goofy as shit. You know?
Yeah,
it's what works.
He's so clever. Like, Hawk is so clever. And so Hawk cuts this amazing promo, and then he throws it to Paul Ellering. And what I realized watching this is, like, Paul Ellering was fucking lame. Like, his promos
Ellering? Oh, not here. He's not.
It's not that I don't like him. It's like his promo compared to Hawk's is just terrible.
Yeah.
It's
why did they have him finish it?
Yeah, totally. And so this is all building to that epic Teddy Long, Paul Ellering match, hair versus hair of two balding guys at Capital Combat in May. So we don't know that when we're watching it, but it's no longer going to be about the Road Warriors and the Skyscrapers. That's for goddamn sure.
No. So it is a Chicago street fight with no weapons and hardly any. It barely even goes outside the ring. It's basically just a Texas Tornado match.
Mm-hmm.
Road Warriors come out piggybacking. So, okay, the Road Warriors walk out on the stage. They stand there for a minute. 2 motorcycles come out. They get on the motorcycles and ride 10 to 15 feet to the ring, maybe tops, and then get off.
It's small aisle. Yeah.
Total waste of time. Not Hawk. Animal is wearing like jeans that I think he got from like a Samantha Fox video. Like, they're ripped up from the thighs all the way down to the knees. And it's like those, you know what I'm talking about? Where it's just like these vertical cuts or horizontal cuts. There's nothing tough about them at all. They don't look. They did not look cool in 1990. They look even less cool now. I don't know what he's thinking. It's ridiculous.
pre-ripped acid wash jeans.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they're
Samantha
pre-ripped.
Fox, that's a good shout
Right?
because Samantha Fox had been a big deal for like 10 seconds, like
Right. Yeah.
in 1988.
So Animal just wants to have some fun. Doom comes down at some point wearing tuxes. Fucking Ron Simmons in white cowboy boots, which is awesome.
Those dudes looked badass.
Yeah, dude.
Like you're watching a street fight. Mean Mark Callis is in the street fight.
Mm-hmm.
The Road Warriors, like still prime Road Warriors, are in the street fight. Mike Enos is the masked skyscraper. I have confirmed this. Okay. And you would think that would be cool to watch, but then fucking Butch Reed in a white tux comes out with those fucking badass sunglasses. And Ron Simmons in white cowboy boots and a tuxedo comes out. That was cooler than the match.
Yeah.
Way cooler. Yeah. And then they're like sitting there, Teddy Long. Oh, so the skyscrapers get beat to shit. These guys just get pummeled.
It's not even,
The Road Warriors are like, we're not selling for you. Fuck you. It's a very one-sided battle.
It's moderately exciting, but it's not a good match at all. It's like about 5 minutes, and they hit a doomsday device and they get the pin.
Yep. On Mike Enos, the masked skyscraper.
I'm never gonna have another opportunity to talk about this because we always cover old stuff, but Mean Mark is a stupid name to me, or at least it was in 1990 when I was a kid. Okay. Now I think Mean Mark is kind of a cool name, but it makes me think of Big Bill. And this is I'm never going to get to wax philosophical about Big Bill. So here's my thing. Please. I think Big Bill's a good wrestler. I think Big Bill has all the components. I think Big Bill is really good on the mic. He's charismatic. He's a good wrestler. I don't think that Big Bill is ever going to be a world champion. No. It's not likely to happen. No. So you might think to yourself, well, of course not with a name like Big Bill, but it's not going to happen anyway. If his name was, whatever, something cool, Skullduggery, it would be a waste of a cool name because he's never going to go anywhere. He's never going to do anything, but you are always going to remember that dude's name was Big Bill. Remember Big Bill? Fuck yeah. I always liked Big Bill. Big Bill, he was better than people gave him credit for. So in 1990, a name like that I thought was corny as shit. I thought it was stupid. But in the year of our Lord 2026, I think it's a fucking cool. I like those kind of names. I like those kind of gimmicks, Yeah.
That's all. It's very memorable. He sounds like a neighborhood. He sounds like a neighborhood bully, basically.
It sounds like a Jim Croce song, is what it sounds like.
There you go. The Big Bad Leroy Brown or whatever.
Yeah, so it's like
I like all that. I would say with the guy's real name is Mark Calloway. I think Mark
Bill's real name is Mark Calloway. What's the odds? Yeah, I know.
Get out of here. I would say that I like Mark Callis. Okay. Mean Mark.
That's
cool name
because it's
fine enough for WCW.
Hard.
Because Mark Calloway wanted to stay in WCW. And he has famously said that when he went to, he'd only signed a 1-year deal. And so when they went to see if he was going to extend his contract or not, Ole Anderson said, look, you're never going to make any money in this business. You just need to. You're just never going to. I don't want to give you a raise. So.
Yeah, because he was Mean Mark then. That wasn't a cool name in 1990.
I guess not. And so he, and true to Ole's word, Mark never did shit.
No.
Never Mark, did a goddamn thing. Definitely didn't become one of the most successful gimmicks of all time.
Never. Nope. And a huge asshole.
Racist.
Next up, Jim Ross says that the balance of the card will be for a championship. And it's at this point I realize that like most WCW pay-per-views from the early 90s, 90% of this show is a tag team match.
That's correct.
Pretty much the whole show is a tag team match. Or all tag team matches. This is where Terry Funk is your goofy drunk uncle, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, I don't know. Next match is Brian Pillman and Tom Zank versus the Freebirds. Go on.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about this? Which is also a rematch from, or this is the first match that was later a rematch in Capital Combat, right?
No,
This
the
same match
match at
took
Capital
place?
Combat is the Midnight Express versus Pillman and Zink.
Oh, they just
So they had just had their US tag title tournament, and basically the Pillman and Zink were kind of the surprise winners of the tournament. I think it was a way to like show the audience that they were somewhat significant. Z-Man, the
they
worst
tried.
fucking,
They tried so hard with that guy.
they did. They did. And when you look
Mhm.
at him, like you're like, he's big. He is a
Mhm.
genuinely big guy. He's, he looks like a stripper from the 80s. And
Eric Bischoff,
yeah,
basically. Yeah.
he looks like, yes, he looks like Eric Bischoff's like football player
Dream.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they had given him a short television title reign. He had beat Arn Anderson and then lost it back like 3 weeks later. But just before this, I think. And so Pillman and Zink have these titles. I just couldn't give a shit about them. I mean,
the team? No.
Yeah, I just didn't. They came out. I just couldn't care.
No, and it's so one thing that's weird is that Pillman's not wearing the Bengals tights, and this is the only time I've ever seen, other than like later on in his career. The belt is so big on Pillman that it's like the strap is hanging off the back, which I think is just bizarre. And the Freebirds, Jim Ross keeps saying once again, WCW really showing how cool and hip they were in 1990, makes an Alice Cooper reference 2 times in this match.
Yeah.
And
Jim Ross is just like, man, I know pop culture.
Yeah. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
So I don't think my notes. Oh, the ladies come in and they do the Freebirds hair. That was kind of, I actually don't mind this era of the Freebirds with
I love it.
I like it. And I like that it's basically Chris Jericho. It's like, you know what I mean? Like they're over the hill pretending to be young dudes, just wishing that people would accept them as young guys, and they are not. They look like they're wearing girdles. Like it's hilarious. I like it though.
I think that there is more self-awareness in the Freebirds than there was in the last 2 years of Chris Jericho.
I think
honestly.
so too. Yeah.
Like, I think the Freebirds are very aware that they're over the hill and that the act is tired. And so they just get more audacious and ridiculous about it as time goes. Like I alluded to this when we talked about Capital Combat, because later in the year, they have Brad Armstrong playing Fantasia, this weird masked guy who joins the Freebirds. They have DDP and they have Big Daddy Dink, Sir Albert Humperdinck.
Oliver Humperdinck. And DDP is a good fit for the Freebirds.
Perfect fit.
I think that's cool. Like, I mean, Michael Hayes, there is nothing better than like Michael Hayes doing the moonwalk and doing that high knee strut.
Yep.
Just pissing off the crowd, just stalling and stalling. I just think, I mean, that era of Michael Hayes is great.
I know that he's not a
he's
great
probably
guy.
an asshole then too.
Yeah, he probably was. But I know he's not a great guy or anything, but I have a certain amount of begrudging Michael Hayes nostalgia because he was a lot of fun to watch. As a character, he was top notch. I always thought Jimmy Garvin was just like his little tag along buddy, who, he didn't have anywhere near Michael's same charisma. And he pretty much just puffed up his hair and went, yeah. That's pretty much all he ever does.
But I like Jimmy Garvin when is he with Precious or Sunshine? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know a lot about that, but it's like
Precious.
The sparkly coat with the white gloves, and he would talk shit, and then he'd be like, "And it's not my fault." Like, I love those guys.
Yeah, so, that's like Texas Jimmy that came over into Crockett, and then he's a babyface for a little while, and then he joins the Freebirds, and I think he is the thing that grounds them in the lameness of what they actually are. Because Jimmy has no fucking idea what he's doing with the rocker stuff. He has no fucking idea.
And it's awesome. Is now, didn't he like retire and become a pilot or something? Like an airline pilot? Like just totally went on living his life, shaved his head, cut off he had beautiful hair. So anyway, this match, it's good enough But
That's
my
fine.
note, this is my notes say like the rest of the card, it's just sort of there.
Yeah, this match
it's
is just sort of there.
happens.
It
Yeah.
just is Brian Pillman doing the Brian Pillman shit. It's Tom Zink doing the Tom Zink shit. It's fine. There's nothing
Pillman's
compelling
good.
about
Zank
it now.
Yeah, no.
It's just
other
white
than
meat
just
bullshit.
saying, oh, hey, there's Lexus King's dad. That's pretty much it.
Pretty much. I mean, I gotta say, Brian Pillman, as a kid, I liked him a lot more as Flying Brian. And looking at him now, I am like, yeah, this guy had a lot of work to do. I mean, he really had a lot of work to do.
He did. Yeah.
And
but they pushed him, man.
They did, and I think they thought he was.
If you bought a pack of WCW trading cards, you were getting 3 Brian Pillmans.
Yes. Big time. Right.
They pushed him hard.
Him, PN News. You would get a lot of cards in PN News.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the Freebirds get the crowd going for the first time in literally the entire show. Like the crowd got up a little bit for Jim Cornette and the Midnights for a minute.
Yeah.
And then they kind of died again.
Tries. Yeah.
Nobody's seen the Midnights versus the Rock and Roll Express more than Charlotte, North Carolina, Greensboro. Yeah. Yes. Nobody's seen them more than these people. So they're not impressed. But this match, for just a minute, the Freebirds get everybody riled up. Michael Hayes particularly gets everybody pissed off and chanting against him. Tom Zink and Brian Pillman make the most of it by encouraging the Freebird sucks chant at the beginning. That's honestly the most notable thing that happens.
Yeah. They put the Freebirds jackets on and do a little dance, and that's pretty much it.
That's right. So Pillman and Zink steal their coats. So the girls are supposed to be disrobing the Freebirds, but the Freebirds are looking out over the ropes at the crowd, and Pillman and Zink
have enough time to put their coats on.
And they don't do it right. They try to, and then it falls off Pillman. And they chase the Freebirds out of the ring, and they do this whole little thing. They get some good heat in the beginning, and then it's all gone by the end of the match.
Because Zink is terrible.
Zink is oh my God.
He's a former Mr. Minnesota.
Soulless vulture this man is.
He's like a piece of Wonder Bread.
He's a Sears catalog model.
Yeah.
He's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
He's nothing. And I hate saying that because, I know the guy put a lot of time into the business and everything. I also, as I understand it, he was very bitter that he did not become a bigger deal in the wrestling business. Really? But watching this stuff, you see why.
I tend to, as I've grown older, I don't like to shit on guys too much because I like to think, well, if you're there, you clearly had something that brought you to the table. So you're a better wrestler than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously. So, it's like, I don't want to shit on him too bad, but it's like, yeah, Zink is just not. It's just not he can't. If it was a thing where he was a bad wrestler, but he had a lot of personality, that'd be one thing. But there's nothing.
So I think you've made the most important point about this entire match is Tom Zink kind of proving a theory. Being a good wrestler with no personality is worse than being a bad wrestler with a big personality. Right. I think that's true. Like the Freebirds are so basic compared to either one of these guys athletically. But they're so much more compelling. Like Pillman's bland as fucking everything else too. Like
he is.
If you heard his promos from this time, and thank God he didn't cut one here, they're boring. It's just like, you think that you're gonna? I mean,
his hair,
the same football.
He looks like Lamb Chop. He's just like he's not. But he does. That's why he's just and it's like. But then Pillman later on obviously is groundbreaking. Like I love later Pillman, but this is not it. But it's the same thing with Mick Foley. Like that's kind of what I was trying to get at. Is it's like you take these guys. I mean, it's the square peg in the round hole, but it's like these guys weren't even pegs. They were creating something new later on. But early in their careers, when you try to fit them in these generic roles, it's just boring. Like it's just. Doesn't work. Cactus Jack's not boring, but
you would have no idea, like what you're saying. Like you would have no idea that this Brian Pillman would even become Hollywood Blonde's Brian Pillman.
Right.
I'm a big fan of Hollywood Blonde's Brian Pillman.
Yes,
I love the Hollywood
I fucking love the Hollywood Blondes.
They're like one of the big what ifs of pro wrestling is if they had stayed together another year, what they could have run the WCW, I think.
They could have, and I don't remember who said it, but somebody brought up that, like, it's a shame that how the fuck was Paul Roma in the Horsemen, but the Hollywood Blondes never were. Like that. Imagine
Crazy.
Flair, Arn, and the Blondes.
Yep.
Fucking awesome. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Just a total waste. Just terrible. Anyway, speaking of the Four Horsemen,
hold on. We didn't get to the finish.
There was such a good segue.
It was. I'm sorry.
But thank you.
But we get to I'm so mad I missed out on seeing any Brian Pillman. You're not mad you missed out on this, Brian Pillman.
No.
You could have seen Brian Pillman later, but probably not here. But yeah, so they had this bland ass match that's very just by the numbers, babyface heel shit. And at the end, the referee loses control of the match, and Jim Garvin is going to DDT Tom Zink. And here's what I hate the most. Okay. I can buy a flying body press as like the guy is hitting you from the top rope and bundling you up and pinning you.
Momentum.
Right?
Yeah.
As a momentum pin. It's not a, like, you get hurt by this. Okay. Like, I just don't buy it. And the way Jim Garvin has to take this from Pillman, he's got another dude in a DDT position. And so Pillman hits him high. He can't bundle him up. He can't, like, because Tom Zink has to get out of the fucking way. And so Jim Garvin takes a back bump and acts like he's knocked out.
Right.
And then
he weighs like twice as much as Pillman. Right.
Yeah,
like,
and Pillman's just laying on top of him. And then the ref turns around and makes a 3 count. Ugh.
Yeah.
I just don't buy the flying body press as like, oh, that knocked him out. No.
Well, Blake, maybe if you consider that he had over 14 throat surgeries by the time he was 17, you'd recognize the toughness of Brian Pillman.
He's got a bachelor's degree in Medicare.
They bring that up all the time. They bring it up with the Steiners too. Well, would you believe that Rick Steiner's got a bachelor's or what is it? He's got a master's in education. I don't know. I don't know how that works every fucking time.
Yep.
So the next match is the Steiners, and you're going to have to bring me up to speed on why Ole was back. The Steiners versus the Andersons, Arn and Ole. And Ole came back to the Horsemen? Or he never left at this point, or what?
No, Ole had left by this point. So Ole was an original Horseman in 85 and up to 87. And basically, the Horseman kicked him out because he chose to go spend time with his family instead of showing up to be part of the Horseman 1 week or something. And they replaced him with Lex Luger. And then that lasts for like a year, and then Luger turns face and Barry Windham turns on him. Barry Windham takes that Ole spot. Then Arn Tully.
I love Windham in the Horseman, by the way.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Awesome. That it's such a short run too. But like Windham as the US champ, Flair as the world champ, and Arn and Tully. Come on.
It's like that's the only point where they win all the belts, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the only era.
That's amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So then the barrel ran real dry. So like the Brainbusters give their notice to WWF.
Right.
Then WWF leaks that Tully failed a drug test.
Right.
Then Arn Anderson has to come back by himself instead of with Tully because WCW won't touch Tully all of a sudden. Then Arn Anderson gets screwed on the offer they originally made him because he's not with Tully anymore. So he takes way less money than he was supposed to make. Arn comes back by himself. Barry Windham's not there because his dad and brother have just been busted in that money laundering scheme. And Barry left WWF where he was the Widowmaker. Right. He leaves WWF. He disappears for a while. Sid is not a member of the Horsemen yet.
Right.
So for a while, the Horsemen is Flair, Sting, Arn, and Ole. Because that's who they had. Right. And Ole barely wrestled at this point. He's pretty much
he barely wrestles in this match.
Oh boy. So yeah. So
Ole's tired. Like they do like 3 spots and Ole's like, oh, he's like doubled over breathing.
He's blown up pretty bad. He's blown up pretty bad. So they have an interview before this match with the Steiners, and you see This is a much better interview than the one they did at Capital Combat, which is one of the greatest, worst promos I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna get a title match? Well, you're not. And he's talking about the opponents they're gonna give a title match to later that night.
Yes.
Rick does most of the talking in this one, and Rick he's doing kind of a stuttering thing. It's almost like the precursor to Bubba Ray Dudley, where he had been playing kind of this mentally deficient guy, with Kevin Sullivan and the Varsity Club and all that stuff. And then Scott talks a little bit, but not a lot. And then they just get to the ring.
Scott's just a fucking meathead.
Just a dumbass jock roid freak. That's who he is.
He's just I was going to say he's like all the jocks that we went to high school with, but it's like he actually did go to my high school. So he really is like obviously later on Big Papa Pump shit. I love that stuff. But, this is not, this era I don't care for.
It's interesting.
I love the Steiners, but it's just, you can't, it's not.
After he has that horrendous WWE run after WCW, and then he goes to TNA, there's the math promo, but I just saw a bunch of his promos from then, and he's actually kind of entertaining. So I don't want to watch him wrestle anymore. But
no, not at that point.
He had destroyed his body with steroids, period. But he is more of his actual personality comes out, and you see that he's actually kind of funny, and he's actually kind of has a charm and a charisma to him.
Yeah.
That kind of comes out as Big Papa Pump, but you're also scared of Big Papa Pump. Because
so Bill, who's in the chat, my buddy Billy, he and I at one point had fantasy booked. Obviously alternate reality. If Hogan hadn't been around and Steiner had been Big Papa Pump and been the third man, that would have been a whole whatever alternate universe that is, that's where I want to visit. That could have been a really cool NWO. You know what I mean?
Also the universe where they had Steiner win the Royal Rumble.
Right?
Where they were seriously eyeing him for that, and he just wouldn't leave Rick behind.
Sorry. Tom Zenk looks like an out of work lifeguard.
That is so true. That is so true. He would be the 30-year-old playing a high school kid on Saved by the Bell. You know what I mean? Just fucking, he could have been AC Slater if AC Slater wasn't Mario Lopez.
Oh my God. Yeah, totally. So yes, they thought about Steiner in the Rumble, and do you think that's legit? Because
I do.
What's his name?
I can see it. I can totally see it.
A ton of shit, but
at the time, Scott Steiner was one of the top 5 most exciting guys in America. Period.
He could do a Frankensteiner.
He could do the Frankensteiner and just all kinds of freaky athletic shit. So getting to this match, the Andersons are teaming up. Ole and Arn had no. It's not on you. It's
just on the magic of the Steiner brothers.
The magic of the Steiner brothers. They were the coolest thing about WCW to me when I first started watching. Cool. It wasn't Ric Flair, as much as I came to love Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And I loved him in 1990. I did. It was who the fuck is this grandpa? And then over time I saw him wrestle enough to where I was like, no, he's really good. I loved Lex, I loved Flair, and I loved the Steiners. They were my instant favorites. Sting reminded me a lot of the Ultimate Warrior, and I was already very much an Ultimate Warrior guy. So Sting, even his music kind of sounds like the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, totally.
Music.
Yeah.
They were patterning his character as kind of the cross-company rival of the Ultimate Warrior.
Which for obvious reasons, yeah.
Yes, and in retrospect, Sting is vastly superior to the Warrior in every single way. But the Steiners are so exciting. There is nobody throwing dudes around, doing the Steiner line clotheslines that look like they just decapitate dudes.
And they just
the Road Warriors
hard. Yeah.
The Road Warriors had been such a huge part of Crockett and of WCW for so long that when the Steiners came around and the Road Warriors left, you really didn't miss them that much because the Steiners were
filled the void.
And they kind of hit harder, and they kind of were doing crazier shit.
The Road Warriors, obviously, when you're a kid, there's nothing cooler. and they're
Right.
legends, and they are
Right.
fucking Mount Rushmore guys. But
Mhm.
the Road Warriors, they don't really do anything. They just punch. And I mean, they do, when they do drop kicks, it's mind blowing. But it's like all they do is throw clotheslines and punch guys and throw them out of the ring. The Steiners fucking wrestled, you know, like you
Right.
got good ass matches out of the Steiners.
And they innovated a lot. They
Yeah.
innovated a lot. They did a lot of shit you had never seen, like the Steiner recliner or the Steiner, whatever that
Right.
crazy suplex into the fucking power. What was
Oh, like
that?
what is it? Like
The
a Steiner driver or something?
Yeah,
That's
it's like a Steiner driver.
terrifying.
It's like Brian Cage has done it.
Yeah, that's
It's similar to
fucking
what Mark Davis does
scary.
now.
Yeah.
But Scott Steiner
Oh,
was the first guy I ever saw do it, and it was 30 years ago.
he's the first
Like,
guy I ever saw do a fucking Hurricane Rana or Frankensteiner or whatever.
yeah, and
Before
so
I saw Lucha or Japanese guys or anything.
or Ricky Morton or Shawn Michaels had already done it by
Right.
that point. But the thing is,
Well, I didn't, but I hadn't seen that at that. I mean, I'm
right?
just-
No, neither
like,
did I.
maybe they did it, but I didn't see it. You know.
No, but the thing is, they did it totally differently. Like to me, a Hurricane Rana is like you jump up, and they would kind of sit on the guy's shoulders and then flip him over.
Right.
That's what I think it was Hector Guerrero who created it.
Dude, Justin, our buddy Justin knows. He
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
all the differences between all that stuff.
Yeah, so I think a Hurricane Rana at the time was like you would kind of sit on the shoulders and pull them over. They would kind of hold you up in a power bomb position, and then they would pull you over. Whereas nobody did it like Scott. Nobody does it like Scott now, where they throw you off the ropes, jump up straight up, and
It's
fucking yank
fast,
you like they
yeah.
broke your fucking neck. You
And
know?
nobody did it with 275 pounds of muscle on their frame. I mean, just crazy. There you go. The Rana is with the pin. Frankensteiner is no pin. So Rana
go.
actually, yeah, okay.
Thank
Cool.
you, Justin. Thank you.
I knew he'd be
Billy,
there.
telling a story I think I've heard you tell. His mother is really nice. We
You
met her at a
have heard
garage
that
sale in
story.
Bay City. She was selling SummerSlam 93 t-shirts. Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, they didn't like it in the WWE.
Oh, yeah. Well, they were there for 1 year. Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
figured that out.
No shit, they didn't
but-
like it. And they somehow became like 3-time tag champs.
The only way we could talk about this match this long is by not talking about the actual match, because Arn Anderson is a man without a country in this fucking match.
Mhm.
He is just trying to keep shit together. He has to take all the goddamn bumps. And then, and I don't know what Ole committed to. Okay. Like, I really don't know. Cause like you said, he's pretty blown up after about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Scott grabs this gigantic man. I mean, this guy
Yeah.
wrestled as The Rock. Oh, Alan Rogowski, which is his real name, Rock Rogowski in the AWA, like in the 60s. He's a giant, old school motherfucker. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Scott picks him up off his feet, like in a bear hug type position. Then he does a crotch grab of some type. And Ole's in the air.
Yeah.
And then Scott throws him over his fucking head. And Ole rolls out of the ring. And I think Ole's like, that's it. That's it.
It's like,
That was
Ole's
my
not-
one. I'm taking
doesn't-
one back bump. That's it.
right. And it's like, well, then you're getting the biggest fucking back bump we can do.
To
Holy
this
shit.
day, I don't know that Scott didn't deadlift his ass. Like,
Dude,
I mean,
I don't think he's cooperating. No, it's
because Ole doesn't look like
crazy.
he knows what to do, honestly. And then
No.
Scott throws him clean. Like he flips all the way over. It's not dangerous. Like,
Right.
fucking Jesus Christ. Like I'm like, I've never seen Ole. I doubt Ole Anderson has ever taken a bump like that. That's insane.
Ah,
So Ole takes that one bump. Arn basically just gets the living fuck kicked out of him. They do
Yeah.
a heat segment for a little bit that's extremely nothing happening, really.
no.
It's just typical Anderson stuff.
It's
I
like
love,
it's the methodical pick a part of your body and make you miserable with it, you know?
and I gotta say,
Classic.
I miss that shit. I
It's
really
good.
miss
It
that
is
kind
good,
of work.
yeah. Even
'Cause they
both of
just-
them, even Ole does it.
Yes, and they attack the arm. They attack the
Mhm.
arm. So I think it's Scott that they're attacking his arm.
Yeah, yeah. Because
And-
by the end of it, he's like all messed
Yeah.
up.
Right. He's like holding his arm. There are a few spots where I was like, God damn, did they like break his arm? But like the match basically goes for about 16 minutes. Ole tries to do a backdrop during a double team where again, the ref has lost control of the match and Rick Steiner just small packages him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very, they don't even do a move to finish it. Like,
It's not a typical Steiner Brothers match. We
No.
also massively fucked up, Degree, because we
Hmm.
didn't describe what happened with Doom in the skyscraper, or in the Legion of Doom and the Road Warriors.
Oh yeah, we were also caught up. Well, they got into a fight at the end of the match.
This is what was exciting about the match, was that
Yeah.
they walk out in these tuxedos.
Rewind.
Yes, we're rewinding 2 matches, okay? But
They're
at
all
the end of that match, Doom and the Road Warriors get in a huge brawl, and I don't think they ever wrestled each other. I don't think it ever
Oh,
went
there's
anywhere.
never like a payoff. That would have
I
been
think
cool.
the Road Warriors probably gave notice sometime shortly after this, and then they just moved everybody. They moved Doom back to the Steiners.
Right. That
But they did get those tuxes ripped off, and
did.
but seeing those 4 motherfuckers beat the shit out of each other was like, there's your program.
Yeah,
There's a
that would have been
program.
cool. That would have been really
Holy
cool.
shit. Anyway, that happened.
So
those beautiful tuxedos got abused.
All right, so we're at the main event. Gordon Solie is backstage with Lex Luger. Yeah, the Steiners are the perfect team for the time. Absolutely. And
were.
like you said, they're really filled in that spot when the Road Warriors left, but still meshed well with the NWA. So we are backstage. Luger's wearing a track jacket. He's doing that 2-finger promo. Says he's in the best shape of his career. His hair is conditioned, but he's not the Cottony Goose, baby, because the next thing we see is fucking Ric Flair. Full effect. Woman is with him. Nancy Benoit. She's Nancy. Does she have what? I don't know what her maiden
She'd be
name
Nancy
is.
Sullivan at the time.
Sullivan. I'm sorry. Yeah. Really just an adorable person. She's got a lot of personality. She's fun.
Her makeup's she went full Scary Sherry for totally. This match.
And I didn't realize she was with Flair that long.
You know, I'm very confused on the timeline on this one, because I think Ric Flair saw her with Doom and went, I want her.
Maybe, yeah.
I think that's what happened. Doom had just been rolled out like a short time ago. Like they were barely around. By the time they only wore the masks for like a month or 2. Like they didn't wear them very long. And then she was done with them at that point. I mean, but this thing where Teddy Long, his team, the Skyscrapers, had just gotten decimated by the Road Warriors. And he's looking at them going, hey, can you help me out here?
Right.
So they don't beat my ass.
Mm-hmm.
And they had press slammed Teddy Long into Doom. And I think that's where the Teddy Long Doom hookup starts.
Yeah. They did. That's right. We totally glazed over all of that.
Yeah.
Terrible podcasters.
We are. I mean, I think that was understood. But
so the match starts. They do their intros. Luger's wearing that. Just neon was a brand new thing at that point. Ric Flair's looking like fucking cotton candy in that pink. And so Ric Flair always gets in people's faces, and he's always doing that. Oh, you tell your dad, you tell your mom, you tell whatever. Does Luger tell him to go fuck himself, or did I hear
I don't know.
Wrong?
There was some kind of, so as it's so funny because Nick Patrick's like, guys, this is the title. This is what you're fighting for. He shows it to both guys. He's like trying to talk to them, and they're just talking shit to each other. And they're paying him no mind. And at one point he's standing there like waiting for him to finish so he can finish his little spiel. And then he's like, he just does his spiel while they're talking shit.
Yeah.
This is a really intense match. It's a slow build main event style match where ordinarily, if the crowd had been elevated, they would have brought the crowd back down. This is what Triple H was always trying to do, but he's not good. So he couldn't do is you bring the crowd down, you start slow, and then you build back up. And that's, people would always bitch about Triple H's matches being so long. And the reason they bitched about him being so long is because they weren't interesting.
Correct.
Ric Flair, on the other hand, does so much little stuff here that shows you why he's the greatest of this time, certainly, and one of the greatest ever. Luger is taking no shit from Ric Flair. And I remember, it's funny how your memory kind of betrays you a little bit as time goes on, right? Because I remember Luger coming into this as a heel. And technically he hadn't really turned babyface.
Okay. Was he filling in for Sting at this point?
He was. This was supposed to be Sting and Flair. This was supposed to be Sting and Flair.
So how long before this was Sting injured?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So Sting had
Okay.
won in '89. They did a big singles and tag tournament, and the winners of those tournaments were supposed to get title shots. And Sting won the singles tournament, and the Steiners won the tag tournament. And so Sting had just joined the Horsemen as a babyface, and they were all baby faces.
Okay.
And then the Horsemen had turned on Sting because he wouldn't give up his title shot against Flair. And I think the plan was to have Sting. And then later that same night that the turn happens, Sting blows out his patella, basically trying to climb a cage. And at a Clash of the Champions.
Okay.
And Flair jumps on him afterwards, not knowing that Sting is injured. So that was like 3 weeks before all this.
Wow.
And so,
okay.
yeah.
No wonder why they brought RoboCop in.
Yeah. So, and that's where at Capital Combat they announced Sting's going to wrestle. He'll be back at the Great American Bash, so.
And so then is that when Sting wins the belt for the first time?
Yes, he wins it at the Great American Bash with a patriotic face paint and shit. Yep. So, anyway, so Luger's here.
And I just real quick, we covered the Super Bowl where Sting beats Luger for the title.
Yeah, that's 2 years after this.
And I don't need to dwell on it, but like the whole Ric Flair and Lex Luger, to his credit, they are masters of the pre-match face-off shit talking. They're both great. Sometimes you can tell what they're saying, sometimes you can't, but Luger's usually more stoic. Flair's always trying to get under your skin. And like, as you're saying, it's those little things where it makes it seem so real. It makes it so much better and tells this, it just adds a layer to the story.
And what they had done is, so the Horsemen had turned on Sting and he had gotten injured that same night. So they retconned it that Sting was injured by the Horsemen when they turned on him. And basically, Luger gets the shot because he's the number one contender because he's the U.S. champion, right? Mm-hmm. Which Jim Ross mentions, if Luger were to win the title, he'd be the first guy to hold both titles at the same time. And, Luger had been perpetually chasing Flair by this point. He had wrestled him at the Great American Bash 88. He had wrestled him at probably a million house shows. He had wrestled him a lot. He had main evented pay-per-views with him already. And so, Flair and Luger was pretty played out by this point, unless you put the belt on Lex.
Mm-hmm.
My whole thing was, what if you had put the belt on Lex, have Lex turn on Sting, and then have Sting win it off Lex?
Absolutely. That would have
cool. Kind of closed a loop, honestly, that probably puts both guys on a different career trajectory. And I don't think Rick wanted that to happen.
No, and it took, because like you said, well, Luger wins about what, 2 years after this then? Is that what you just said?
About a year and a half. Yeah.
And at that point, he doesn't even beat Flair for it because Flair goes to WWF
for it.
Yeah, and it's just like a fucking fart in church. Like it's nothing at that point.
He wins the belt on famously the worst WCW show of all time.
Right.
The 1991 Great American Bash. The crowd's chanting, "We want Flair" the entire time.
Right.
And the title's held up. He faces Barry Windham in a tiny cage where you could just.
And it's not even the real belt because Flair took the belt. I mean,
it's a tag title that's spray painted.
But this match, to your point, to two of your points about number one, building a fucking good match. Mm-hmm. This match is awesome. And I was texting you for all the shit that people have given Lex Luger over the years, myself included. Holy shit, dude, this match is great. And maybe, I know Sting has always said that Flair, would guide him, slap me, hit your chest, kind of guide him through the match. Maybe Flair's guiding him, but Luger's doing the work, dude. This match is great, and the crowd gets really into it, and it's cool.
Lex is believable, which you can't teach, period. I mean, you just either are or you are not. And Lex roided to the gills, but he's believable, very believable. And what I would say is the Warrior, we just reviewed the Royal Rumble 1990.
Mhm.
The Warrior's reputation as a wrestler is very deserved. He's not good.
I
at
don't
all.
think people complain enough about how bad the Warrior
Yeah,
is.
I honestly agree. After
Tom
watching
Zenk-
that match, I was like, that was so bad.
because it's not just that he has no instincts. I mean, the
No.
Ultimate Warrior makes Tom Zenk look like fucking Danny Hodge. I mean, he's just horrible. He's so bad.
Yes.
But Luger is like, what if Luger had been in WWF and been the face painted Ultimate Warrior, who knows where history could have gone. We should do a show on fantasy booking.
Totally. If Lex Luger had been the Ultimate Warrior, I think he's a multi-time world champion.
Sure.
It's a totally different deal.
It would have been an absolutely different story.
What I would say is that, I mean, imagine if Jim Hellwig had been Big Van Vader, because that gimmick was created for him. Did you know
right.
that?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and then he would have just been Baby Bull. So into the wrestling verse.
Yeah, totally. Well, we're gonna have to do an episode based on that.
We actually probably should do an Into the Wrestling verse.
We should. What if Warrior had been Big Van Vader? What the fuck would Leon White have done? And what if Lex Luger had been the Ultimate Warrior? I mean, like, there's all sorts of directions you can go with that. That's wild. Anyway.
And we haven't even mentioned the fact that this pay-per-view is sponsored by Ruse tennis shoes, which was one of the first things I had in my notes.
Yes, and they run during WCW programming. I used to watch Power Hour. And the Saturday night show, which was just called NWA World Championship Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch, and then I'd watch Worldwide earlier. So, dude, check this out.
So wait, Saturday, what was there, like a 9:05 show and then a 6:05? Were they on both Saturday and Sunday at those times?
They were on. Yes. So
okay, because I was watching all that shit.
Power Hour would run on Friday night. Okay, and then it'd rerun at like 6 in the morning in my part of the world. So that's your 9:05.
Yeah.
Then Worldwide, which was the syndicated show, would run at 1 p.m. or 12 p.m. Sorry, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And that's when Superstars would come on. I'd watch an hour of Superstars. And then at the end of that hour, World Championship Wrestling would come on for another 2 hours. And then
unless the Braves were playing.
And then the next night,
right,
main event would run on the Superstation, and I would watch that. So I would get like 6 hours of WCW alone, and I'd get like 2 hours of WWF. So I mean, I was watching all of it. I mean, everything I could get my hands on, I was watching, and my whole Saturday was pretty much devoted to wrestling. You know, and I loved it. It was so awesome.
Yes.
So anyway, we've gotten way off track. Lex Luger and Ric Flair.
Ric Flair at one point. I'm just looking. Oh shoot! So at one point, Jim Ross says, "This is a match. This is the NWA style. It's man on man and it's physical."
I'm so glad you remembered that, because I remember hearing that line and going, "We got to talk about that."
Yeah,
this is the NWA style. This is man on man. It's like, oh boy, and they were even in kind of a homoerotic position when he said it. So
because Flair's got Luger in a headlock, and Luger's so powerful that basically he's just giving Flair a piggyback ride, is what it comes down to. And it's like, okay, Jim.
Yep.
So there are many layers to a wrestling show, and one of them is blatant homoeroticism.
Yes, of course.
And now it's just we're just more open about that now. But
I mean, I've never found it to be an insult. I mean, I've just always been like, I mean, no,
people, it's funny because I remember talking about wrestling at work one time, and somebody was like, "Isn't that kind of gay?" And I was like, yeah.
I don't know what it says about me, and I don't care either. I mean, like, it's never bothered me.
It's fine.
Yeah, totally. Exactly.
I'm pretty comfortable with myself.
One thing I loved about Flair that really got Luger over more would be, and he did it with Sting too, was he would hit the chop. And Luger would sell the first one, and he'd go back, and then Flair chop him again. And Luger would like start muscling up, and Flair would realize the chop didn't work, and he'd be like, "Ah, fuck," and start
beg off.
Away. But I love it's the fuck that really gets it over, where it's like, "Fuck, what do I do?" You know, like, what do I do?
Flair again, his pre-match shit talking, his in-match shit talking, and his like like just his cries of pain are just so horrible.
Oh God!
Yes.
Oh God!
Oh God!
Oh
So
God!
there's a point in this match where Luger's like kind of knocked out and he's slumped over the ropes, and then Sting comes out, and Sting is on the crutches with his leg all the way up to his thigh. And they do the thing where Sting comes in and he grabs him by the hair and get up. You're gonna, but and totally fucking you're in the moment, and Sting says, you gotta go kick his you know what. Like, you could have just said butt, dude, and that
If
would
he
have
had
been
said
fine.
butt or ass,
would've
it
been-
would have been so much better.
He didn't
However,
need to, yeah.
it's the best part of the match.
It
It
is.
really is.
So Luger's
Because
up.
everything else he's saying is so, he seems so genuine. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Wake up! Go kick his you know what. You know, if he had just said kick his butt, it would have
Yeah.
been better. But like, he yes, and then he slaps Lex across
Yeah.
the face.
And so, and he gets up, and then does Flair hit him? Because it's like Luger like looks at Flair, looks at Sting, looks at Flair,
Yep.
looks at Sting. And
Yep.
it's just like it's building and building and building. And
Mhm.
and again, at this point, the crowd is fucking into it. I'm into it. And I watched it 3 days ago, you know?
Mhm.
Again, this was a good fucking match. Like,
Well, and it's a great way to make something out of a terrible situation, which is Sting being injured. Is Sting and Luger have this tenuous relationship where it's been revealed they're friends, and now Luger's a heel, which automatically makes them like, what are we? You know,
right.
you're a bad guy, I'm a good guy, I'm the ultimate good guy. And so, and you know, Luger kind of had no bottom he wouldn't sink to as the US champion. And so what I loved about it was Luger's pantomiming to the crowd. He is doing kind of some babyface shit during the match, which I didn't remember him doing. But you kind of need
I just
get
thought he was a babyface. I didn't realize he was
yeah,
real.
yeah.
Because
But this
I
is the
wasn't
moment
watching
that
either.
seals the deal, where it's like Sting slaps him and wakes him up. Then the Horsemen know Flair's fucked at this point. So Ole and Arn run down, and they just run into the ring, and Luger, you know, takes them both down. Sting can't really help him.
Right. They hit Sting.
So
with
then
Ole
they
grabs a
realize,
crutch.
yeah, because Sting's on a crutch, and Sting does a great job of kind of trying to get away from them as quickly as he can. And then the Horsemen realize, well, we can't physically overwhelm Lex, so we need to threaten his friend.
Right.
And so they start surrounding Sting, and Luger has Flair in the rack. I mean, it's over if he keeps this up. And by the way, I was 10 watching this shit. Okay. Your body can do all kinds of crazy shit at that age. Okay. When you see the torture rack now, you're like, that move would hurt. That would really, really hurt. Holy
Especially
shit.
at the age of 49.
Yeah. I'm 45. Watching that shit now is like, no. But you know, Ric Flair was like 41 taking that move.
Right.
So like, and I mean, wrestled another 15 years. And so like, it's,
he wrestled more than
yeah,
someday we're going to review that retirement match. But anyway.
Yes. But yes, so Lex has Flair. Flair's trying not to give up. Woman knows he's fucked. The Andersons make a smart move, following very much in line with their characters. So they're surrounding Sting, and Lex drops Flair when he sees this and runs out and starts defending Sting. And the Horsemen kind of, the one thing is, should Lex have been counted out, or should Flair have been disqualified? Because Ole's just punching him at this point, right in front of the ref.
Yeah.
And the ref, Nick Patrick did a great job of, he's making the count and he gets to 9 and he's like, 10, you know, like
he was good.
He did a good job of selling the emotion of what you'd be going through at this time.
He's the one that gets into it with Corny earlier too, doesn't he?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I like Nick Patrick at this
It's almost
point,
always Nick Patrick in those situations. I always thought he was great. But Lex gets counted out, you know, bailing out Sting, and then then Luger gets back in the ring. They overwhelm him. He gets DDT'd by Arn. You know, he gets beat up pretty bad. And then the Steiners run down. And I don't think we really made too much mention, but a lot of the Road Warriors, the Steiners, the guys who would be the dudes with attitudes later, they have Sting's revenge armbands, you know, in solidarity with Sting. And so Luger didn't have one on. And so this was kind of the moment where he became a babyface.
Rick Steiner has a piece of paper with Sting's
Yep.
revenge written on it, taped to his chest. And at this point in the match, you realize that that is taped on the turnbuckle
Yep.
where Sting is standing, and it's a cool shot. And like,
Yeah.
to see the whole kind of thing laid out like that, it's like one of those rare occasions where it's like, oh shit, like you guys just stumbled into that, but it looks like it's intentional. Maybe it was, I
Yep.
don't know. Yeah, and then it goes off the air,
Then it
right?
goes
I
off
mean,
the
is there?
air.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
Wrestle War.
kind of how was it taken at the time? Because
Uh,
I'm watching this match and I'm like, man, I don't know what the fuck you guys are thinking, but you should have just called an audible and put the belt on Luger, like
I think you
just
should have
said.
put the.
I
I mean,
mean,
you could have put the belt on Luger and had an all-time moment, and then had another all-time moment when Luger turned on Sting.
right. But were people into
That's
this at the time, or
no. I don't think so. I think people
okay?
were. I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, like I'm
I
10.
mean,
I
yeah,
don't know anything about the Wrestling Observer. There's no internet, so
right.
I didn't have any friends who watched WCW. They all watched WWF if they watched it all. I would say watching it. I checked Cage Match before we came on, and it's rated about a 6 for the event, which I would think is generous. Honestly, I think it's more of a 5
Yeah,
type show that is based solely around the main event and
yeah,
maybe the street
oh,
fight, you know,
yeah,
and the moments with Doom and the Road Warriors. There's
yeah.
some good moments in this show, but it's a pretty bland show
Mhm.
overall. And I was going to ask you, so uh, what is your takeaway from where WCW is at this time?
At this point,
Yeah.
I mean, knowing what I mean, and again, same thing. I don't really know that much either because I don't know what the history is. They just seem kind of disjointed. They kind of don't seem like they know what their direction is exactly.
Yeah.
And it from everything I've seen, like we've reviewed this, we reviewed Capital Combat from the same year, and
Mhm.
we've kind of reviewed stuff kind of the same era. It's like they don't quite know what they're going to do and where they're going, and every choice they make seems to be the wrong one. Like
Yeah.
they're almost there.
Mhm.
Whether it's Doom versus the Road Warriors, but then the Road Warriors leave. Doom is the coolest fucking tag team you got. You split them up. I mean,
Yep.
just every single spot. It's like, and then by the time they actually pull the trigger, it's just kind of meh, you know?
I got to pee so bad. I'm going to do that. You talk to the people. I will be right back.
Oh shit. Well, I don't have anything to talk about. Let me see. Let me see if I have any more notes. This is the danger of doing a live show is you don't want to drink a lot of water. You should remain hydrated at all times though, folks. I'm just you guys remember the Naked Gun when Leslie Nielsen has to go to the bathroom and he's got the mic on and he doesn't realize it. It's kind of hoping this would be one of those moments. It's not Enrico Palazzo. Um, got nothing else. Yeah, it was a good pay-per-view. Yeah, it just WCW doesn't know what they're doing. Blade left me alone. I have to riff. I do know all the words to Turtle Power, so here's where I'll go on the half shell. They're the heroes for in this day and age. Who could ask for more? The crime wave is high with muggings mysterious. All police and detectives are furious because they can't find the source of this lethally evil force. Now this is serious, so give me a quarter. I was a witness, get me a reporter. Call April O'Neil in on this case, and you better hurry up. There's no time to waste. We need help like quick on the double. Have pity on the city. Man, it's in trouble. We need heroes like the Lone Ranger when Tonto came pronto. When there was danger, they didn't say we'll be there in half an hour because they displayed turtle power. Been waiting for my opportunity to do that. Trying to bring up the Ninja Turtles in every fucking show that we do. And I never get the chance to talk about how this ace reporter was hot on the trail, determined to put these crooks in jail. Here we go. Billy says, I think the views of Lex Luger over the years were skewed because people like Ric Flair talking shit about him, but this period of Lex Luger is actually pretty good. I would agree with that. It's how Blade hates you. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Do you want me to keep going with that Ninja Turtle song? I can keep doing that, Justin. I don't know how to put the text up here because I don't have access to that, but if you're watching, people in the chat are complimenting me. Where was I? Oh yeah, she spied the bad guys and fell in a trap and got caught. Man, she was all alone with no friends and no phone. Now this is beyond her worst dreams because they was cornered by some wayward teens. Headed by Shredder, they were anything but good. Misguided, unloved, they called them the Foot. They could terrorize and be angry youth, and they mugged the people who needed proof. Then from out of the dark came an awesome sound. Shouted cowabunga as they hit the ground from the field of weeds. The heroes rescued the flower because they possessed turtle power. You want me to keep going?
No, no, I don't.
I finally got my chance. But
Yeah, I was
all I
longer because I was peeing and laughing at the same time because I could still hear, and so
it's just
I'm probably
spraying everywhere.
I might have to clean a little in the bathroom after the show. So thanks for that.
Oh shit.
But yeah, anyway, so I would say Wrestle War, I would say you're spot on with your analysis of that. Like, they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. They know they need to modernize it somehow. They kind of aren't willing to do the actual modernizing. They want to be more like WWE or WWF, but they don't want to look like they're trying to be more like WWF.
This is also with all the WCW we've from this era and even a couple years later. You know, how do I want to say it? WWF conditioned people to these short matches and, you know, not the build. Well, you want to know why? It's because all of the matches in WCW are fucking boring. That's why. So, of course, WWF, like I said, it's a 10, like with the first match, this is a 10-minute match that goes 15. Whether it's Vince, Pat Patterson, whoever, just kind of understood the crowd is not into this. Just tighten it up by like 3 minutes and it makes all the difference. But then you get to the point where now everything is like super short and people don't understand, you know, a nice long match.
So like this style of wrestling has fallen by the wayside ultimately because and
it's not all bad. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not trying to shit on
but like I will say as a kid, I became conditioned to understand that like you really don't have to pay that much attention until about 10 minutes in to most matches. Because if it's, you know, if it's a Ricky Steamboat match, for instance, or if it's a Ric Flair match or somebody like that, and I'm a massive Steamboat fan, I'm a massive Flair fan, but I knew the first 5 to 10 minutes of that match are going to be arm bars and just feeling each other out, and nobody cares.
And I don't hate it as much now, but yeah, as a kid, like, yeah, you just kind of met, unless it's the Steiners who just come out of the gate fucking running as hard as they can.
Well, and that's why they stand out so much is it's all power and speed, you know, it's power, speed. It's just explosivity, you know, that you don't see out of somebody like Lex Luger until like deep into a match, typically, you know? So I would say, you know, I would give this show a 5, and it's entirely carried by Luger and Flair and Sting's great character work. It's cool to see Ole Anderson tag in the sense that I really did love that Anderson methodology of going after a limb and just, you know, staying on it the whole time.
I do like that. I like that a lot.
Who was the least entertaining person on this show? If you had to pick one.
Can I pick both of the dynamic dudes?
I mean, I'm torn.
Again,
I'm torn. I think Ace is less charismatic than Douglas.
Yeah. But Douglas doesn't do much in this either. You don't really see enough of him, you know?
I would also say Zinc is way up there.
He's bad. He's just blah. He's Wonder Bread. He's just boring.
What was the most surprising thing about the show to you?
The most surprising is that I am not a Lex Luger fan. And you know, like I said, I've shit on Luger a lot over the years. I think by the time like the Monday Night Wars were going on, I think Luger felt maybe I don't know if he had his problems or if his heart just wasn't into it. But like the Luger that I think of, I'm not. I mean, I remember him as the narcissist and all that stuff too. And I didn't really like him then either because I was a Bret Hart guy. So my big surprising takeaway was how much I loved the main event. I mean, I really if you are a person who has a bad image of Lex Luger in your head, I would say watch this main event. And like,
yeah,
that was a shocker to me. I was going to go to bed and I stayed up late because I got so into that match.
Justin, it's so funny. Before you actually put that in, I care about the early graps, the early parts of the match. Like, as I'm saying that, I'm like, Justin's going to be furious at this. But I mean, that's from the perspective of the 10-year-old,
Yes,
so it's like, but I would also say, this is where I discovered Lex Luger, and he was working real hard at this time to be that top guy. And he was very motivated to be that top guy. I think even by the time he actually wins the title and then leaves to go to WWF, I'm not sure that he really cares that much about it anymore. He just wants the money, and he's more after the money. And I think he settles into a role in WCW that he's happy in. And he actually gets the title more at that point in his career than he had before.
When I started watching WCW like around just before Flair left, I think, just as Flair, like basically Luger's title reign and stuff.
Yeah.
And the only things about Luger's title reign that I remember are like Harley Race and like Ron Simmons. Oh no, Ron beat Vader, didn't he? So yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, maybe Ron had a couple titles.
He wrestled Ron. Luger defended against Ron at Halloween Havoc.
Okay, 91. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, like it's not Luger that I remember from that era, and it just kind of,
he barely wrestled. He wasn't on TV a lot. I mean, he was kind of just checked out, and I think he fully intended to go to WWF. I think that was he was very set on that already.
And then he did.
I would say the thing that surprised me was hearing how bad Terry Funk was on commentary.
I didn't expect that at all. It's not that he's bad. It's just not what you'd like. You said he's a fucking poor man's Jesse Ventura. It's not what you think Terry would be.
Terry doesn't seem authentic, like he's totally being himself. And I would say he talks too much and then says a lot of things, but doesn't say anything. Which I just found weird. And Jim Ross clearly has anxiety working with him, where he feels like he's trying to like clean up the stuff Terry's saying. It's just,
Jim
it's
seems
a company
like that a lot on these old pay-per-views though. Like he seems like maybe like, I don't know if he's like a micromanager or whatever, but
I think
he always just seems like he's always trying to fix shit, even if it doesn't need to be fixed. Like
I would say that's very true. I think Jim took wrestling way too seriously at this point. And I would say the advantage to Tony Schiavone with all of this is he understood that it had to be fun. And you can always tell when Tony's having fun. And Jim is never having fun. Jim is always trying to hit everything flawlessly, And sometimes he's so great. And then sometimes it's like cringy how he's trying to almost like protect the business still.
Yeah. That is one of the things like about like the Bischoff Monday Night Wars era, that of all the things that piss me off about that stuff is the fact that you listen to old Tony Schiavone and that dude loves wrestling. You listen to Tony Schiavone every Wednesday night and that dude loves wrestling. But during the Monday Night Wars era, I hated Tony Schiavone. And it's not Tony's fault. It's because he didn't love wrestling anymore. You could tell.
I think he didn't like the product as much, and he didn't like what he was being pushed to do. And I think he had to focus
the dude's heart, man. And
I think he had to focus too much on the business side of it, and I don't think that's what he wanted to do. And I think, Tony's not a flawless human being. Like he had an ego too. And
I don't know Tony as a guy, but I'm just saying, like, the joy of young Tony Schiavone and then the joy of Tony Schiavone now. It's like there was that period in the late 90s or whatever, mid to late 90s, where it's like I just didn't like him, and it sucks. Well,
he became the voice of WCW, and so he was kind of a heel. Whether he wanted to be or not, whether he deserved to be or not.
Right.
Well, Degree. Anyway, that was Wrestle War 1990. Thank you all who joined us live for the show. We appreciate you so much. Make sure you subscribe to the Hard Ways YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the Sickos Club YouTube, and make sure you join us next week because Degree.
We are covering the Survivor Series Showdown 1991, not Survivor Series, but the Survivor Series Showdown, which was something that aired on the USA Network like a week or two before Survivor Series.
Usually a week before, yeah.
So like everything else that we do on the show, it's on YouTube, so it's accessible. You don't have to pay for anything. It's all free out there. We want you to watch it first so that when we cover it, you can see if your views align with ours. Get in the chat, talk shit to us. Listen to me do rap songs about Ninja Turtles. For iBlade Daily, I'm Professor Degree, and this is Professional Wrestling the Hard Way.
Bye. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. Billy, it was a true pleasure to have you with us today. Seriously, I wanted to put everything you were saying on the screen. It's just,
that's what I'm saying, right?
There was so much good stuff in there, man. So thank you so much. Yes, I did want to comment on this though. The Horseman kicking Sting out that's a great angle. Really great angle. So I highly recommend anybody go watch that. That's just that angle. It's from they were in Texas. I remember that. I can't remember, but it's from February of 1990. That's a great piece of business. And yeah, the WCW chats, everybody. Justin, thank you so much for being here. Spirit Universe, Pippin, everybody, you guys are the best.
Yeah, thanks for showing up, you guys. That's awesome.
These live streams are a ton of fun. I'm only having more and more fun with them, and we are going to continue to evolve the show in a way that caters more to the live feed. So we got some stuff in the works, let's just say, and we will talk to y'all later.
New art director.
Yes, we have a new art director. Yes. Yes, an art director who has shown me some cool shit they're working on.
Overly enthusiastic art.
No, very just appropriately enthusiastic.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to cut off the feed here, everybody. Have a great fucking day.
Bye.
Have a good rest of your week. Thanks for spending some of your Monday with us. Talk to you later.
Oh, fuck ice.